countries, then turn.
Oh, hey everybody. My name is Marcel Irnie, semi-retired pro superbike racer thanks to Bullshit 19. And let's get into the news update for today. This is Irnieracing News, January 28th, 9 p.m. So tomorrow is the big day to arrive in Ottawa.
Look, son, it's one of nature's most beautiful sights, the Convoy.
Oh, oh, oh no! They're coming in through the back door! Oh no!
And we got a lot of news to catch up on, and then more news will be coming at us quick. So let's go over the highlights. Right now, the Freedom Convoy 2022 GoFundMe, oh, this is updated, $7.7 million. And what is that specifically? 7,707,280 raised, and then the new goal is 8 million, but that's going to go up with 97.4 thousand individual donations. And they actually break it down on the website for the top donation. So right now, 25,022 by Anonymous. And then second right now is 15,000 by Len, Alex, and Jonathan Sedge. And then third, of course, 3 days ago, it used to be the top comment, was Yadavir Singh Dalhilwa. So what's important is the second name, Singh, because a lot of people might know the NDP leader of the New Democratic Party since, what, 2017, Jagmeet Singh. And so what's really interesting is 3 days ago, this Mr. Singh, the brother of the New Democratic Party leader, made the top donation to the Freedom Convoy. And you can imagine the conflict if you understand that Jagmeet is Trudeau's buddy. You know, they're essentially in bed together per se. And you got to imagine that, like, you know, Jagmeet is totally, you know, mandates control. He is right in there with Trudeau. And then his brother and probably the rest of his family is pro-freedom, and they're pissed off, and so they're in a family conflict, and the brother throws it up. And then if you search, you'll find news that they try to get the donation retract or whatever, or Jagmeet did, because it makes him look bad, and it should, because he is bad along with Trudeau. And the Conservative leader O'Toole, you know, he's just a tool as well. If you saw in the last video, while he won't even make a stance, he has no backbone, he has no stance, he doesn't stand for anything. He won't say whether he's with the truckers. He just says, I want everyone to get the injection.
What should Canadians think about your position? Do you not support the trucking convoy?
I support getting as many people vaccinated as possible, including truckers.
So what's your message then to truckers who have maybe spent the past month thinking that you kind of have their backs and calling for reasonable accommodations and rapid tests, and again, you still won't answer? Will you meet with them when they come to Ottawa? Do you support their efforts and coming all the way here? What's your message to truckers who might be disappointed that you are dodging questions and when you won't say whether you'll meet with them?
Well, let me be crystal clear. We've been meeting with the Canadian Trucking Association for several months. In fact, we've written the minister on this. And at every occasion, I encourage truckers to get vaccinated.
So let's move on. For me, just releasing latest videos during the convoys now getting into action since last Saturday when I was at the Worldwide Rally for Freedom.
Wow, what an incredible view up on top of the Northern Lite, the white whale. Oh, now I see the couple of police hiding in the background. Oh, we got a couple more. Doing their rounds with the mask, probably pro-freedom.
I put out a lot of videos. I made a whole playlist called Irnieracing Civil Rights and Freedoms. You know, and they get like 1,000 views, a few hundred views. I got them on both my YouTube channels. And then all of a sudden, now this whole kickstart across Canada and now across the globe is getting a whole bunch of people on YouTube. Everyone is searching for the truth because, as we know, all our mainstream media from the US to Canada are censoring it, not showing what's going on in the streets, on the side of the highway, or in the trucks. And so for me, if you look at my latest video, like I did a compilation video, it's got like 130,000 views now in 20 hours or 24 hours by now since I released it, and we're at nearly 3,000 comments. I was literally up reading comments till 4 a.m. last night, and I probably only made it through like 500, and now it's like, when would I ever go through the comments? So if you don't see me respond to your comment or even give it a heart, you know, I'm not going to give it a heart unless I read it, right? So I am just overwhelmed by the camaraderie of Canadians and the world. Half those comments are from the rest of the world, all these sweet countries, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Kazakhstan. I got a guy in there commenting, and then I was able to ask him on a follow-up because I did a news story on Kazakhstan, and they were mandated on January 5th, which means they couldn't go into the banks without passports. They couldn't go to the post office. You know, they couldn't do anything. So, and then they had the gas price increase, and of course they've been under full-on tyranny for 20 years. So we don't really know what the story is. And because the prime minister or president of Kazakhstan, the dictator, the totalitarian guy, he ran away, and then they took over parliament. They set it on fire, and then the police and the army actually switched sides. They joined the people, which was great. It was a full-on revolution. And then the leader, who's in hiding, he calls in the Russians, his buddies, his gangsters for business gangsters. And then the Russians came with tanks and guns and started shooting up everybody and took back, unfortunately. So let's get an update on that later. But yeah, that's Kazakhstan, guys. So we can learn a lot from that as well. And let's focus on peaceful here, because we're going to get into that later. I believe we have to have a peaceful rally. The convoy, we do not want to give Trudeau any excuse. He is running scared. And if we let him create martial law, essentially the Emergency Act, then he will do anything he wants with no code for the Charter of Rights, you know, and literally, and that's what he wants. He wants violence, and we'll talk more about this soon. But they are going to do this on purpose. They're going to make scapegoats. They are infiltrating, of course, the convoy, and so we are going to learn about that soon. The Antifa, all that bullshit. So let's keep moving on. So yeah, so many positive comments, guys. Thank you so much. I had one troll. In 1 hour, he made 22 comments on just those 2 or 3 freedom videos. And he's just stirring up shit. So we could call him like a shit bot. He's almost like a bot or a shit hawk. That'd probably be a good term from Trailer Park Boys. So I had one shit hawk, and I blocked him after I saw 30 comments and he's not helping the conversation whatsoever. So that was the one person I blocked from 100, or from maybe 4,000 comments between the 3. Telegram. Now, Telegram has convoy groups for a large number of the countries to join. So if you haven't been on Telegram, guys, you got to get on there. There is hundreds of groups. There can be up to 22,000 members, I believe, per group. Some are that big, like an unvaccinated one, anyways, that I was found and looking for information. And this is how I find this information, peer-to-peer, back and forth. It's the best way for us to get information around. And I also recommend getting on Signal, which is encrypted. Who knows exactly what's going on with Telegram and who owns it? There's a little mystery there. But at least we're able to use it to our benefit right now. Just don't say anything stupid that could hurt you later, maybe. Use Signal for that. And so upon a little research on Telegram, we can see that there's map routes being organized around cities and actions happening with large groups of truckers and freedom fighters worldwide. Now, I'm talking not just Australia. I'm talking all these little countries, and they're all in there. Like there's pictures of truckers getting together. We have started a trucker freedom revolution. So good job, truckers, Canadians, and everyone else that's been a freedom fighter for this past year or more. Now let's continue. I personally have like an example, an Irnieracing News, a private group on Telegram. Just 26 people that I personally know, friends of racing, etc., and who I've all met. And so you can start doing that too with your local friends, and then you can share information important updates, which are coming by the minute these days. And if you have been following me for the past few months, or even Canadian propaganda, then you might know about Brian Dennison, who is now resigned from the Calgary Police Services. So I've been posting Dennison's, from his initial video, he was probably like the first officer, and it went viral to speak out against these mandates when they hit the officers, and on speaking on behalf of everybody. And he got two charges against him. You know, whatever they call that, police mischief, police misinformation, whatever you want. I can't remember. I'm not going to look it up, but it's in the video. And so he actually then resigned so then he could continue doing the rallying, because they told him, you're never allowed to go on a rally again. And so he just like, I'll fight with outside the system. I'll do better outside, not inside. I've actually been in contact with Dennison. Ironically, an old girlfriend reached out to me just a few months ago about my YouTube channel and work for some of an electric bicycle. And then I ended up telling her that I'm a freedom fighter now, and she was just so happy. She's like, oh my God, Marcel, I'm so happy to hear you're a freedom fighter. And how deep down the rabbit hole have you gone? And so yeah, we had a good chat. And she found Brian Dennison on Signal, I believe, and was able to get me in contact with him, because at that time he said you could contact him, but it was near impossible because it was all private. So it's amazing what can happen with people getting together for a common goal, a common good, the common good of humanity. So we had a few chats, and he's kept me up to date. And so without further ado, let's introduce Brian Dennison and what he thinks about the truckers, the Freedom Convoy 2022.
Hi everyone, it's Brian Dennison. I just wanted to make a quick video here and let you know that I am in support of the truckers and what they're doing and their convoy to Ottawa. I'm in support of everything they're asking for, which is to drop all mandates and all of this COVID nonsense. So now is the time for you to stand up and do something. Get in behind the truckers, do whatever you can for them, show your support online, show your support in the supermarket. Stop complying, stop wearing your masks, stop complying to what they're asking you to do, because none of it is getting us anywhere. Today is the day that people need to see that the truckers are doing everything for you. Now is your opportunity to shove back as well. It's your opportunity to show what you think is wrong with what's going on. It's called civil disobedience. It's not violent, but you are making sure that our government knows what's going on. So kudos going out to the truckers. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. And I'll be heading out to Ontario as well. And I'm going to be at the Niagara Falls portion of this, and I look forward to seeing you guys all out there. Now for law enforcement, you can't wait around, guys. You signed up to be the difference in this world. You are walking that fine line between good and evil, and now is your time to show who you are. Exactly what you think of what's going on. If you think this is wrong, you better speak up, because there's no second chance in this world. You're on the wrong side of history, and that will really show who is who in this world. Time to do what you're supposed to do. You are there in adverse times. You are there running into the bullets and the knife fights. This is no different. You need to get in the fight. You need to be the difference. You need to continue to show the public, the people that you protect and serve, who you are. You're above and beyond what they can do. They look to you. They look to you for guidance. They respect you. Don't ever let anyone ever tell you they don't, because they do, and I can tell you that firsthand from all the support that I've got. But I'll tell you, sitting around on your hands and doing nothing, absolutely nothing, is not good. You can work from within the service You can work outside of the service, but make your voices heard. Let your bosses know. Send letters, send messages, go in and speak to your bosses. Get out and help the public. No more of these taking down pastors and shop owners. That's ridiculous. We are ripping apart our Canadian society, and it's not good. We will not recover from this if we do not stand up as a people of Canada and do something about it. Now is the time. Stop waiting. Get out there and do something, please. The people are begging you.
So yeah, laid it out, guys. Let's get in action, not just react to everything's around us, but let's be proactive. I'm trying to keep these news updates coming, so I wanted to say, if you guys are out in Ottawa, you're around this major events, please send me your footage, and you can do it a few ways, of course, on Signal or Telegram. And so my Telegram, you know, it's t.me/dirtbikesurvivorman. So when you're in Telegram, you go @dirtbikesurvivorman. It's the hashtag I've been using a lot since I've been semi-retired dirt biking at least twice a week for my own, to keep sane. And I wasn't involved in any politics until the mandates were announced and the Canadian election came by, and then I was running the purple flags and riding my bicycle in the skate park, making jumps with the billboards in my frame. Okay, let's talk about what we, the people, will be doing next. You know, the truckers can't fight your fight for you. We all need to do our part in this tyrannical regime of mandates and control from, you know, just mass censorship. There's been a lot of that. And I, for one, spoke out often on my Instagram stories and Facebook and about the bullshit 19 and globalism. And without warning, my Facebook was permanently deleted, suspended my account. There was no one day suspension, none of that bullshit. Just boom, I went to sign in and it's gone. And I looked long and hard for the appeal process, and I actually had to Google it, and you know, as opposed to Facebook it, because I couldn't find it through there. And then there's the appeal area where you put your name in and some ID and appeal. And then you get an auto email, and from there you're supposed to wait for a person to contact you, and in 30 days, if you don't follow up on the appeal, it's done. You're done. And of course I never got contacted, and I tried it again, nothing. And then 30 days was up. So it's just a fake appeal process. So that's fuckbook for you. Zuckerberg, I think everyone should get off Facebook, follow what happened to me, and do it on purpose. Get the hell off of there. Let's make Marketplace somewhere else. Some new cool ones are opening up, and I can mention like a new Twitter as well. It's called Getter, and it's great. Everyone's moving over there, uncensored. There's no censorship, so they learned from Twitter. As an example, YouTube. I have 2 YouTube channels, and I had 2 warning strikes and then 2 strikes, and one of my YouTubes was shut down for a little while. The second one, luckily, not the first one, just trying to upload my Pikes Peak latest video, and at the end I was talking about the poison dart and just got a little too into it with a friend in the hospital, and they caught it and they blocked it and they striked me down. And 3 strikes are out, for example. And you can't share anything if you don't know. If you go on YouTube or Google and look up their policies, you cannot say anything that goes, or you're going to lose your channel or whatever. You'll lose the video, etc. That contradicts the WHO and CDC. So everything that they say, if you say anything that deters from exactly what they say and believe, then you'll be striked down. And in that same context, there's a whole list. It's pretty funny. You can't even mention the word you can't say invert, because if you did, that would be caught. And you can't say hydro clock. You can't say that. You can't say hydro blah 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 clock. Again, blocked. It's like dark magic. It cannot be mentioned, or you are gone. So anyways, now what are we going to do as people to support this freedom convoy, to support our freedoms, our rights and freedoms, the Charter and the Human Rights Acts, which the Human Rights Act is also medical discrimination. You cannot have a public business. It doesn't matter if it's privately owned. If it's open to the public, even as a business license, you cannot discriminate for people of anything. It can't become race. It can't be from, it can't be because you're too tall or too short, or you have medical exemption for masks. And this happened to me in the MEC store, Kelowna, the MEC, the co-op, Mountain Equipment Co-op, and they just had a couple Gestapo at the doors hired to do this. And we don't accept medical exemption, and they medically discriminate against me and wouldn't serve me in the store. Okay, so I'm in the MEC, and they are telling me you can't have medical exemption in the MEC. And I'm returning something, so yeah.
Sorry, unfortunately we can't pay you.
Fucking bullshit.
I'm sorry if you are not happy. I'll ask you to turn off your recording device. If you don't wish to comply, I will be calling the police. So
just terrible, right? They got a sign over here, you degenerates. They're trying to make us, those fuckers. And so yeah. So onto it. We seriously got to stop complying. Do not comply. Seriously, stop it, guys. It is sickening to me to walk in the Costco, which I usually do once or twice a week, or every 2 weeks, and see hundreds of slaves walking around wearing these breathing barriers. I call it breathing barriers for a reason, and you should start calling it what it is, because it's a breathing barrier. There's a reason everyone's mask is below their nose sometimes, and then people are telling them to move it back up. Like, seriously? Like, fuck. You can't breathe in it. It's obvious. It's not science. You can wear one and know it is blocking your breathing, and you're pulling in a whole bunch of CO2 and less oxygen. In fact, when you look, you're just not going to be as healthy. There's reasons we practice breathing. There's reasons that Wim Hof is so successful in keeping people from getting the cold. Everyone should be practicing breathing, deep breaths, getting more oxygen, heightening your blood, oxygenating your blood, removing that CO2. You can hold your breath over 3 minutes. Anyone can. This shit is amazing. The last thing you want to do is limit the amount of oxygen that you're doing, guys. There's so many things if you can look into it. There's an expert on masks who sells masks in Alberta. He was at a Freedom Rally. This is his job, and he explained it to the T. So, I mean, he sells these things. He knows. And again, a mask, I can't even say it. I can't say it. It'll be, I can't say anything against the CDC, which says masks are awesome. Put them on. They do plenty. They don't escape. Nothing. There's no absolute efficiency rating. That's, how big is the virus? How big? What's the efficiency of a mask? Absolute efficiency. Look it up. 98.7% per pass. What is it? Even if it's sealed, which it doesn't. That's why it goes and fogs up your glasses, because it goes up. Simple stuff, guys. Simple stuff. So yeah, stop complying with the damn shit, the masks, and like I was in Costco, and you can see the video wearing the helmet. There was one guy without a mask on, and he smiled at me and made fun of me. It was awesome.
I don't know if you know your lights on.
Oh yeah. I'm just really being extra careful, right? I don't want to accidentally crash, my 0.001% chance I'll crash my motorcycle in here.
All right. Well, you be careful then.
Oh, yeah. Second, do not use your password. Yes, your segregation password, your tyranny password, the demise of humanity password. Delete shit. Delete that shit from your phone. If you have the password on there, you are supporting the mandates. It's that simple. I hate to say it, guys. Get rid of that shit. Now, another interesting thing that I hear from the truckers going to the border, one guy explained, it's like he's riding up to the border and he goes to show the guy the QR code at the border, and he says, no, I don't need that. I already clocked you in when you were just in the lineup. I already see all your information, your health information and who you are linked to your passport. So now you don't have a paper passport that they have to, scan. Now their Wi-Fi is picking up your phone. They're sharing your information. Do you not see that this is the end of ends? Stop it. We're already too far down that shithole. Get rid of that shit. They know everything about us. They want to track you. They want to track you. They want to control you. They want all your information. Facebook and all that shit. They're taking everything. You talk about one thing, your phone's listening to you. And there's a way to turn that off. You can turn your camera and mic off, actually. I should make a video on that. On Androids, you go in the back end in developer options. you can message me and I can maybe remind me to make a video later. Okay, attend your local rallies, guys. Get out to the rally. I'm going to the Kelowna rally tomorrow. The one that we filmed last week, and it was the worldwide mega rally, and this one could be bigger today. I'm even going to get my brother to hopefully come out, so it's going to be awesome. Bring out the fuel truck. I was like, that's what everyone needs to drive across to Canada on a rally, is your own truck that carries your own fuel load for you and your friends. Then you can go back and forth multiple times. You can idle for, and make sure you get AMSOIL in there, so then you never need to change your oil, which means you can idle at the capital forever. 300, 400, 500 hours of idling or more. Didn't do an oil analysis. So anyways, make sure to smile. Make sure to smile. And with your businesses, remove all those stupid stickers from your door. If you keep those stickers on your door, you're continuing the trend of bullshit. And so we're getting rid of this. Everybody is doing this weekend, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. I would say do it Saturday. If you're afraid, do it Sunday. Because the 28th, 29th, there's posters for this, stopping all mandates, nobody comply. Get to your local rallies, and it's going to be big, guys. Mandates don't end with trucks, they end with all of us. Come on now. The RCMP is not interfering with the convoy as Trudeau has requested. Trudeau, of course, asked them to stop the convoy, and, so we won't even get to Ottawa. They are not complying. This is great, finally, but this could make an issue later with the military, because now he'll call in the military. So again, do not do anything stupid. Peaceful rally. Do not let him call in the military, and keep an eye out for those assholes in disguise. All right, yeah, and the police were even helping the trucks make a diversion onto the highway. Like a left turn, they'd block the lane, and so everyone could get out of the parking lots, etc. So now we are 2 years into this pandemic. Bleep. Many people were idling, literally, idling by because they were not directly affected. Humans just don't want to get involved to a certain extent unless their own life is torn apart or a traumatic event happens. Now, me personally, I didn't have a traumatic event. I just slowly decided to start paying attention when the election was coming and the mandates, and nobody could go across the border initially. And so for racing, it had all just kind of piled in, and here I am. And my job is no job. It's to fight for all of us. And please join me. So on that same note, I had a guy bugging me about a video I monetized, one of the ones that actually monetized. And he's thinking I'm getting rich on this shit, like $250 a month you make from YouTube as my average, and hopefully we can get that up, because I would have liked to drive to Ottawa. It'd be so great if I could take everyone with me and not have to get other people's footage and compile it from my home here, where I'm renting for the weekend, because most of you know I live in an RV to live my life as a dirt bike survivor man, or before a Superbikewanderer. I used to travel track to track racing every weekend and teaching rider training to pay for racing. And so, yeah, I haven't worked in like 2.5 years on my main career, my main dreams. So they're getting diverted.
I heard a freaking rumbling, like a freaking growl. Woo! Oh, man. It's gonna be scary in the dark, guys. Like a bear or a cougar. Oh, no, that's more like a cougar. Oh my God. Like, it's so dark without my headlight.
Anyways, back to the news. So get involved, guys. So what they are doing is a strategy of mandating, from the nurses, the small businesses, the big box stores, to the kids getting shots for schools, to the trucks. It's a slow decisive. If they just mandated everybody at once, then we would all rally together instantly. It could have happened a long time ago, but because it only affects little sectors, they never just, finally the trucks have done it. But that's the strategy, guys. You slowly, this is war practice. This is all war strategy. And there's a lot of books on this stuff I'm sure you could find. They use it to their advantage. Luckily for all humanity, the truckers organized and started our hopeful revolution. And that is also pushing the world to realize that something can be done. Now everything is positive. There is possibility. On the horizon, but there's also terrible on the horizon. So let's talk about the Antifa, who certainly there's a probability that Trudeau and his slackies are paying the Antifa and these people to be violent agitator groups. And then, of course, the propaganda machine is working in unison to call us the fringe group as terrorists in any capacity they can. And this is another propaganda war tactic. And so we need to keep an eye out for those Antifa. They look like this, this, and this. We'll throw out some posters. They're going to wear masks. They're not going to show you their face and everyone out there protesting a friendly rally, they're going to be showing you their smile. People are not wearing masks outside if they're involved with the rally. So first clue is that. Second clue is like, do they have any defining markers where they can keep track of each other? You know, maybe like a handkerchief. Look at this picture. Like literally, it seems pretty obvious. So let's take pictures, film these guys, confront them, call the police on them, call your buddies on them. But don't, I don't know. But point them out and film them and make sure anything they're doing, we'll get them on tape. They're troublemakers. Woody the Woodpecker. Because we got to see what Trudeau has up his sleeve. You know, he's been thinking, him and these elite have spent billions of dollars at stake, trillions probably at this point. And they have probably, oh, there's Philip turning off. They probably have been working on this for a while. And, we've seen what happened in Kazakhstan. It was obviously a violent revolution. It was violent coming back at the people after the fact. The people were dealing with it. Then the police switched sides, and then the military joined them. But then Russia was called, because the head of the beast survived and brought in Russia. But who is Trudeau going to call? So let's just keep it peaceful and not give any excuses for the turds. Best strategy to call in the army on us and make the Emergency Act where the law does not apply to anything, it seems. Emergency Measures Act, the Wartime Act, and not accountable to our supreme law, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So that's such bullshit. Huh? Which, by the way, the Charter has a spokesperson right now. If you start looking it up, what is his name? The Honorable Brian Pinkford.
Because he has serious concerns about the policies of the current Canadian government in relationship to the Canadian Charter of Rights, which was established as part of the Constitution Act in the 1980s. And he, as I said in the bio, is the only living minister who participated in that constitutional process and is therefore a unique, let's say, historical and current resource because he can help illuminate Canadians as to the intent of the people who were instrumental in drafting, writing, and agreeing on all of those fundamentally important accords. So let's start by talking about what concerns are driving you to re-enter the political discussion at the moment.
Well, primarily it is the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, especially those freedoms and rights that are in sections 2, 6, 7, and 15 of the Charter, which I helped craft. And they're freedoms of association, freedoms of expression, religion, conscience, freedom of assembly, freedom of association, that's in Section 2. Section 6, freedom of mobility, the right to travel anywhere in Canada or leave Canada. Section 6 deals with life, liberty, and the security of the person. And Section 15 with equality. Every Canadian is equal before the law. As we sit here today, those provisions are being violated by all the governments of Canada, but in particular, in my case right now, the federal government of Canada, and I'm about to launch a lawsuit against the federal government because of these mandates, especially their travel ban.
One of the original architects of the freaking Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This guy was born in 1942. Now, Trudeau is obviously not at home isolating. He is very likely in a war room with his advisors, pushing the pins to slow down this movement and stop it if possible. If he can make violence and make reason to, I believe he will order a clearing of the square. Now, this rings a bell for me on that great series, was an HBO series called The Tyrant? Or no, not HBO, something else. AMC or something. The Tyrant. Check out that series. It's great. Just a country in the Middle East with oil, and the son takes over for his father, and he has to make a decision to clear the square. And at the same time, he's also like, he doesn't want to get hanged, you know, Hussein style as well after the fact, if you do these terrible measures. And Trudeau's got to keep in mind, if he pulls some crazy shit, we'll be after him to hang him. And I mean, we already are. I think, you know, he should be, yeah. And look at Amsterdam, how the police show up, people are doing peaceful protests, they have no weapons in their hand, nothing, and the police get out of vans with dogs and batons and start beating on them, and the dog grabs a guy in the thing. That video was taken down or demonetized and all this shit as well from 18 plus. It's terrible. It's just news. They won't let you show you the news. So hopefully the Canadian police and the Canadian Army don't cross the line and join the people and be on the right side of this. So for the rally tomorrow, guys, or every other day, make sure you get to your dollar store, get the mini Canadian flags made in China. And in Kelowna, apparently Princess Auto sells Canadian flags, larger sizes, etc. And my mom, I actually asked for one for Christmas. I got a new flag for Christmas because I asked for that. That's what I wanted for Christmas, so that's what I do. Or you could try Walmart, but no, you can't. Not in Quebec, guys, because if you didn't know, they sneak it in there and the world news doesn't talk about it. Quebec is mandated for stores under 1,500 square feet or square meters. So just the big box stores like Michael's and Walmart, you are not allowed in there without your papers, your tyranny papers, your passport. Required at the door. Yet you can walk right next door in the mall and go to all the other stores. Makes sense, right? For our protection or something, they say. Or they even say that anymore. Do they even bother? They just do things. Did I mention there's chatter on Telegram and comments coming to me that people in the USA are mobilizing their trucks and around the world, but the USA, which is for me Canada's neighbor, and I really want to get back to the USA. I miss so many of my friends and my USA families, and racing and teaching, of course. And so that's great, guys. The USA, I've seen some pictures. I've heard some radio chatter. Fuck those globalist bastards. Hang them all. Let's keep going. Come on. And, oh yeah, what about the highway government cameras? You know, the highway cameras that show you the weather and shit, that we can see the traffic and weather. Well, they've been turned off. Here's a photo of it. All the ones on Highway 401, etc. Trudeau is doing everything he can to run his game. So this is such proof. This is so proof of total lunacy. Like, I cannot believe Canada is in this. This is like something you read about in, like, you know, I hate to say it, some crazy country, not Canada, not North America, shutting down, you know, total dictator, like freaking, you know, North Korea style, but, you know, whatever. It's just in China. Yeah, China. Social credit system. Shutting down traffic cameras so we can't see a protest of people driving. That just tells you it all. Like, if you just see that one point, you should be like, I don't agree with this one bit. And, oh, I forgot to put a shirt on for the video. Yeah, well, it's summertime, right? No, wintertime here. Oh, yeah, and what about in Walmart? So in Walmart, there's a pharmacy, of course. And so the unvaxxed, unpassport, they can go to the pharmacy. Of course, the drug companies want that and want to keep selling you, keep feeding you. And so that there's these little booths they put up. You walk into this booth like an idiot, and then a guy's going to come and he'll escort you to the pharmacy and make sure that you don't spend your money on anything else in the store. You know, you're not allowed to buy anything, just pharmacy. In a store that sells stuff, I believe. I swear it sells stuff. Is it not a business, or is it is it a political store? Does it sell politics? No, it buys politics, or does it pay for it? Let's keep moving on. Oh, well, in some other news, did you see that HIV infection reports for 2020 to 2021 increased 5.9 times? So 5.9 times more HIV infection cases than the year before that, 19 to 20. That's a 590% increase. Strange, eh? I wonder what that's related to. Maybe some sort of secret recipe that we don't know what's in that recipe. And they wanted 75 years to tell us what's in that recipe. Strange. along with an increase in acute myocarditis, acute pericarditis, acute MI, SOB, chest pain. Yeah, so there's some stats on that stuff coming through. By the way, did you see videos of tractors parked along the highway in solidarity, supporting the movement? I got photos of it. Like, there's tractors on the highway, and a video I saw just lined up. I don't know if I saved that one, but well, here's a picture of tractors in Ottawa. So that's pretty cool, huh? The farmers. Yeah, hopefully Simpson Seeds is out there. That's awesome. People are taking what Trudeau said in terms of we're taking something that he made negative, name calling us, and we turn into a positive. Proud members of a small fringe minority with unacceptable views. So now we got stickers, shirts, posters being made up. People are taking it and using it to the positive. How cool is that? Now, again, a reminder, watch out for those troublemakers. Stay away. It's probably that our dictator Trudeau is paying for these services. So there is whistleblower news on this. You know, we can't verify what's going on, but very likely it'll be a driving force. Look out for these guys with signals and markers. Well, that kind of brings the end to it. Well, let's check what the Freedom Convoy is at now. 7,722,540. So still going up. Top donation, an anonymous donation is still 25,022. I wonder what that number means. 25022. So I am Marcel Irnie, you know, semi-retired pro superbike racer from Kelowna, BC. This is my winter rental, hanging out, and I'm back on the Superbikewanderer, Dirt Bike Survivor Man RV life back in May. And yeah, so today is January 28th, 2022. Now it is 9:39 p.m. Keep on, keep it on. Peace.